I'm going to show you how to do a pixel explosion. And so the first step is to create a custom brush. And I'm doing it like double, so you're going to see two mouses. You're going to want to make a new file with 512 pixels by 512 pixels and use the rectangular marquee tool to draw a square. You're going to want to fill the square with black by pressing D for default colors and then pressing Alt-Delete to fill it. It'll be selected and then go up to Edit, Define Brush Preset, and then name the brush whatever you want to name it and press OK. To deselect it, hit Command D. From here, we're going to choose the brush behavior. You're going to want to do that by pressing F5. And selecting the brush that you just created. Go over to brush. You're going to want to turn the transfer on. So your transfer settings should be on an opacity jitter at about 50%, and then your flow jitter and minimum to maximum opacity jitter can be messed with according to how you want it to look eventually. But then from there, we're going to go over to brush tip shape. Make it smaller because it'll actually be a little bit too big when you make the first brush. The spacing should be around 100. It can be a little bit less or a little bit more. Then shape dynamics. Okay, so you're going to want the size jitter to be at about 75%, probably more. Your minimum diameter is going to be at about 10%. It could be more or less. The angled jitter should be at about 90 so that you get a nice square shape for your pixels. And the roundness jitter should be at absolutely 0. Minimum roundness, also, it doesn't really matter because the roundness jitter is at 0. You can change the controls, and that changes what's happening over here. It's pretty cool. But you won't really be able to see the full effect of that until we get to the next step. So oh, and the size when you when you do this, you can do a brush tip shape. It should be around 20 pixels. That worked really well for me. That's what I used in this one. Okay, I'm just playing around with the brushes right now, and so now I have my new brush, and I'm gonna go over here, and I'm on my original picture, and I'm gonna make a new layer. Oh, is this playing? There we go. Regular layer. And clone stamp, S. And I'm gonna wanna pull from, wait, I edited this so that you could see. Yeah, so you're gonna wanna pull from where it's gonna be green, and you're going to want to stamp it into where it's going to be yellow. And so it's kind of like you're going to see as you go how right it looks. And it's a little bit easier because it's black and white, because all the hues are either black or white or a gradient of black and white. See, and then I just open up F5 again and change my brush as I feel like it. And for more variation, I'm constantly pressing the bracket keys to make it smaller and bigger for the pixel effect. And you're gonna want to draw like from near where it would be. Like if this would be exploded over here, this would be exploded over here, this would be exploded over here. Like I feel like that's kind of obvious, but it should be like that. Hence the, you know, drawing. And then you can see in the video, I didn't really like how it turned out, and I just pressed erase, and it was still on the brush, and I decided it didn't really matter, so I just erased most of it, and then restarted. And here you can see I'm changing the size of my brush pretty sporadically, and then it's gonna get bigger. Yeah, this part's pretty straightforward. Oh, and heads up while this boring part is playing. So I did this on a creative suite. So it looks different, but it's exact like all the controls are the same for Creative Cloud, the one that. Oopsies. Okay, so I deleted the outline, and now we're gonna want to add the or like delete, I guess, the pixels over here. And so I'm making this. What I'm doing now is I'm adding a curves layer to all of it, but I'm going to clip it to just the layer that I was clone stamping on, so that just my clone stamp has these effects. Just for fun. And I'm going to do that by pressing Alt and clicking in between the two of these. So, oh, I think I clipped it to the wrong layer. I'm going to fix that now, don't worry. So I should have clipped this curves to layer 1, but I didn't. I clipped it to layer 3, which is nothing. There we go. And so now I added another layer, and oh, okay, this is important. So I added another layer over here, and so I'm going to clone stamp again, but I'm not going to do all layers. I'm only going to sample current and below. From here, it's just similar process, except you'll be dragging from here and adding it to here. Yeah, and this layer should be hidden so that it doesn't pick that up. Again, this part's pretty straightforward. See, I'm changing the size of my brush and dragging from places that maybe aren't over here so that I can get more of a harsher white and it contrasts more, especially since the opacity jitter is around 50 and I might get some midtones, some grays that may just look like squares as opposed to pixels. Also, you probably are going to want to make the angled, oopsies. Yeah, this is where I messed up a little bit and my keyboard started to disconnect. Okay. Okay, so this is what it ended up looking like. Just black over here to over there, and then grays over here to over there, and darker grays over here to over there. And that's what all of this looks like. And then from, oopsies, I guess I did more edits. Here I'm just touching it up more so that I can like how it looks. And there we go. There is my Pixel Explosion demo. I think I added like one more layer with just curves on top of it, and it. There we go. Cool. Bye.